Opportunity of the platform from Girl Up Khonjel, I'll be sharing my views on the topic "The grave need of the present is a pedagogy to highlight the oppressed, their tools of resistance." I have tried to simplify the topic using the Oxford Dictionary for my personal understanding, and I would like to share it as the concerning need of the present is a teacher who will draw attention to the harshly and unfairly treated people and teach tools to resist and not to be affected by such treatment. The meaning of pedagogy means teacher, and I personally agree with this topic. I personally feel that presently in the society we need a teacher or a guide who will make the oppressed people realize the tools to defend and fight back the oppressors. Oppressed means to be harshly and unfairly treated. In terms of society, we are dealing with people. So oppressed people denotes the people who are harshly and unfairly treated. Presently, oppression can be seen in relation to gender, sexuality, caste, creed, race, religion, etc. all across the globe. Yes, in developed countries there is less to negligible oppression, but in developing and underdeveloping countries, in which our country India also belong, the oppression is really a major concern. And moving further, I like to talk about what qualities are prerequisite are required to be a pedagogy to fulfill this course. In my opinion, the person who will be the pedagogy for this course should be free from biased judgments and think more from the humanitarian grounds. The individual should also be determined to achieve equality in the society. And secondly, I like to discuss about what are the tools of resistance. Firstly, proper and quality education is an important tool that is highly needed as tool of resistance by the oppressed. Without knowledge and wisdom, the oppressed would not be able to fight the battle. How can the pedagogy highlight the tools of resistance to the oppressed? Now, this is the major question. When authority is given to a particular person or group, there tends to be a condition where people in authority try to suppress or harm and suppress both the people not in authority or less authority. Like in psychological experiments, like there is an experiment called Milgram experiment, which showed that most people will obey an order given by an authority figure to harm someone, even if they feel that it is wrong and even if they want to stop it. So this is a psychological experiment which concluded that if an authority orders, a person with his conscience or following his conscience or not following conscience will follow the authority. And also there is a famous experiment called the Stanford prison experiment, which was conducted in 1971. It was about prisoners and guards. It was an experiment, yet still guards exhibited abusive behavior towards the prisoners, which led to stop the experiment before it was due to conclude. With these two experiments, I can say that the pedagogy has to understand the scientific studies, like the guards in Stanford prison experiment and like the one obeying orders in the Milgram experiment. The person in authority in the society, if not checked, will cause harm to the person in less authority, which leads to oppression. And therefore, the pedagogy has to highlight the scientific facts to the oppressed so that they fight for their rights and not stay quiet. Because if they stay quiet, there won't be any solution. Also, in terms of gender, let's come back to the ground reality of our Manipuri society. In terms of gender, Manipuri society is a patriarchal society, and therefore authority sets in towards males. Pedagogy has to understand the above two experiments and apply the knowledge to uplift the women and other minority genders. In terms of sexuality, heterosexuality is the dominant one, and therefore homosexuals are oppressed. Also, things are changing, but still lots of progress is to be taken up. Same-sex marriage rights, discrimination protection, homophobic slurs are all to be dealt with. And in terms of caste, religion too, there are several instances of conflicts. Majority tends to suppress the minority, and there should be more understanding and consideration towards equality. And these are the qualities that the pedagogy has to understand to highlight this course to the oppressed so that there can be a solution. And what are the problems of the present in terms of oppression? Rich versus poor. The increasing gap between rich and the poor has made gap in the economic sector and also the livelihood. Poor are getting poorer and rich are getting richer. This unknowingly leads the poor to be suppressed. And high caste and lower caste, even after upliftment with the help of the constitutional rights for the lower caste, the high caste and lower caste issue still prevails to this date. This needs to be settled. Also, freedom fundamental right violation. This is a very important issue. Fundamental rights are seen to be deprived for the oppressed people. The reason they are oppressed is in itself a violation of their rightful dignity and self-respect. Therefore, making the oppressed people realize their tools is a must. And who are eligible to be a pedagogy to fulfill this course? Any person willing to make a positive change in a society without waiting for people to come up are eligible, like youths as well as who are irrespective of any age. They must have an ambition to eradicate oppression. The above mentioned subjects that I mentioned are faced in day-to-day lives and hence are very important and must be dealt with at the earliest. Who can raise their voice and make answers for the present problems, and these are the person who are eligible to fulfill this course, and also who can find out oppressors and teach them correct their mistakes. Lastly, I'll be concluding by saying that it is high time that the oppressors be given a notice that they need to change. Oppressed people also need to fight for their rights, and for that the pedagogy as a mediator and as a torch of light should be there to fulfill this course. Thank you.